华光西来是叫的，对，就去过一个这个。
去谁家属玩？
对不起，因为我不开车，我也不会讲英文，所以就没有，因为我只是陪孩子来读书，就是没有办法。
So I used to serve at church as a pastor, not anymore. And nowadays, I kind of created a non-profit organization, which is called Love to Home, and try to reach out to people who don't have educational opportunity in overseas countries because they are really poor, and then we try to find someone and really need our support, and we are support here. So that's what I'm doing, and that's why my travel is coming on October. So I'm gonna go to Indonesia, and November I'm gonna go to Mexico. So we are supporting the student there, and then they wanna study but they don't have money, so we are supporting money. So I'm gonna visit them, how they are doing, see how they are doing, and I'm gonna meet them. That's why I'm visiting the countries. That's my job, and beside of teaching here and other schools. So that's my main work. So about 2 years ago, I finished my PhD in Biola University. It's a Christian university in Lamirada, California, and then I studied intercultural studies. It means that try to study your culture, and then try to study other cultures and compare as a difference or as a similarity like that. So my study focus on the second generations Korean American Christians. So I did with for my PhD, and still my interest is still I wanna see different people and understand others, and then who are really interested in Christianity, and then I'm willing to introduce what Christianity is like, and talk about the belief and talk about the Bibles. That's my interest in other cultures, other countries. That's my brief introductions, and then any question about myself? No questions?
No question.
Okay, then you guys your turn. So, introduce yourself, and then when you introduce, and then can you maybe see each other, and then we can at least know names and face. Okay? All right.
自我介绍。
介绍不了，我也不会说。
Hold on, please. Yeah. So are you?
Yeah,
Are you Japanese?
Yes, I'm Japanese.
Okay. So you don't understand the Chinese and you don't understand the Korean,
一
right?
个单词我可以听，但是说话我不行。
Okay. And then we talked a little bit, and can you turn around and introduce yourself to them?
こんにちは。
こんにちは。
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Yutaka.
Yudaka?
Yes, Yutaka.
Yudaka, and when did you come here?
This school,
No, America.
USA, was 17 years ago.
17 years
Yeah.
ago. Wow, it's a long time.
Yeah, still student.
Like me, but I finished the study about 3 years ago. But yeah, I was doing the other stuff. Yeah. I immigrated here about 27 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, we'll see.
yeah.
I applied green card, but denied. Yeah.
Oh.
My last school was no good, just pay to stay school. So yeah, immigration terminated. Yeah. Since then I came here.
Okay. So what do you do here?
I came here to play music, but these days, music just really just working.
What kind of music do you play?
Rock and roll, I like 80s. Yeah,
Oh.
so like old music.
Oh, okay. I like classical music, so but I know a lot of Japanese classical pianist and violinist. Yeah, Japanese. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any question about him? No. No question.
No question.
No question.
Okay. So I don't know whether it's appropriate questions. So have you been gone to church? Church?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm a pastor. I used to serve at church. I'm a pastor, but I don't do church ministry anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I want to just identify who you are, and then I'm gonna try to be careful about something when I teach. So not related to the topic. Sometimes I'm a Christian, but I try to always say something, but I don't want to do it related to Christianity. But still, I'm gonna just deliver the material that relates to our class. Yeah, that's why I wanna know who you are. Okay.
How are you everybody? My name is James Lin.
James.
Yeah, I'm from Taiwan, and I really like museum. I usually play my saxophone.
Saxophone.
Yes.
Also, tenor, alto, bass.
Alto?
Alto. Wow.
Yeah.
How long have you played?
My play 10 years.
10 years. Wow, you will be pretty good then.
I think I just so.
Ah.
Yeah, but the students say they like museum. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. What do you do in the United States?
I just study English. Yeah. So my mom is from here. So I miss my mom.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how long have you been here? How long here to America? In America?
20 years old.
20 years?
Yeah.
Wow. Then you came to America as a really little, huh? I see. 20 years.
Yeah.
Wow. So you graduated high school here? No? No. Okay. All right. James Lin?
Yeah, James Lin.
And what is this?
Lin
Lin.
James是林
林
Okay, can you introduce yourself?
林 那就 easy 哈 my name is 桂鸿章my name is 桂鸿章 I come China 上海 China yeah China and for later come to American 5 year 5 year 然后 two son 一个 girl 一个 daughter girl is Laguna Beach University my son is San Marino High School High School 12年级咋说来着 senior 12年级是怎么说他12年
High school。
High school 但他12年级了，我怎么说？12年级是junior my son high school junior， 然后他明年就上大学了。我不知道能不能。
What is your name again? Sorry.
Utah.
Utah.
Yeah, like Utah State, Utah.
Oh, Utah. Okay, thank you very much. I can remember that. Usually, I don't remember the people's name.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a really hard time to remember, but I know your face. I know what you're talking about today. I remember, but it's hard to memorize people's name.
I can't remember people's face.
Face?
Yeah,
Oh.
my wife said it's kind of disability.
Oh.
Yeah, some people it's hard to remember some face.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually remember the face and remember what you said in the class. Yeah, when we see outside, oh, the guy I saw it, but he talking about some blah 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 in my class, but I don't know his name like this. I'm the kind of person, so sometimes I forget your names, but just remind me. So maybe a couple of years, maybe 10 times, I can remember your names. So whenever I ask your name, and don't be offended, and then just tell me. All right?
All right.
Yeah, so, yeah, the today class is about philosophy of Christian education. Have you heard about this topic? Well, you registered the class, right?
Yeah.
And have you heard about philosophy and then Christian education and then I studied philosophy in Korea.
Yeah, I have heard of it, but I didn't understand anything.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
What about? Have you heard about philosophy? Yeah, Confucianism is one of philosophy in China, in Korea. Yeah, it's not a religion, and so we're gonna talk about that one, and then so basically, class is philosophy of Christian education. So, just think about: do you have your own philosophy? How do you say that? Do you have your own philosophy?
In Japanese?
No. In how do you understand? Do you have your own philosophy?
Philosophy is very difficult thing for me.
But
Yeah, I'm a more simple guy.
okay, I mean that people say, I ask you, well, do you have your own philosophy of life? How do you answer? What is your philosophy in your life, for your life?
Just have fun.
Have fun is your
Yeah.
philosophy,
Yeah,
okay?
that's the biggest one. Yeah.
Okay. What about 规则,规好? Yeah, usually we say that philosophy means that just think about how you believe, how you want to do, and it gives kind of belief and direction of life, right? Yeah, it gives you belief and direction of life. So that, well, I wanna have fun in my life, and then how can I make my life fun? And then this one I think about, and this one added a lot of activities to make his life fun, because he said his philosophy is have fun in life, and it means that Christian philosophy of Christian education is that in this class we're gonna so like that, and just understanding about the aspect of philosophy of education in Christian education. So what is a Christian education? So what is their belief, and what is their theories, and what is the direction of education, and what is the activity in education? So like this is a whole related to philosophy. It's not just a theory, it's not people's thought, but still the thought is influenced to the world and to the people and to me. So if I don't know whether you guys if you have a chance, to study about philosophy, and then a lot of change, world is changed based on the philosophy at that time. So I mean that philosophy is really important. It's really, really important because gives you kind of an understanding and gives you kind of evaluation and gives you directions and gives you activities. So this class kind of explores the essential foundation of Christian education. I call this a philosophy. So we're gonna go over the philosophical understanding of education and theological and historical and then psychological and sociological and curricular foundations. So what is like that and provide what the essential knowledge for education. So we're gonna build up the what's of philosophy. So what is understanding of the philosophy of Christian education in that what is behind the foundation. And then it was Christian education is coming out to the surface. So I don't know how much you guys have you heard about it, but still we're gonna do a lot of some philosophical basic philosophical understanding, and then we're gonna talk about basic theories and sociology and psychology, and we're gonna see how education is practiced in history. So that's the classes. So we try to explore each topics and then understand about what is education, and then how we can make the Christian educations, and that's why you can make a foundation and then make a direction, and how can you practice, and then that is kind of gives you philosophies, right? So maybe sometimes it's hard, but sometimes maybe it's really fun. But still, try to open your mind and try to see what it's like, and then maybe it's not relate to your life. Sometimes it's really boring, but still, if you see that and you can get some idea about education for your children, and sometimes gives you idea about your life, and not specifically related, but still give you basic kind of tools and method to evaluate, to apply the theory to your life, right? So remember what this is called about. So here is some objectives and then desired student outcomes. What I want you guys have at the end of class, and then maybe you guys are taking this class, and then this class helps you to understand the essential foundation of Christian education, basic foundation of Christian education, which leads to equipping students with theoretical and practical knowledges. And then, what is the philosophy of Christian education? Is a kind of what theories is supporting, what are you gonna teach, what is the goals, and then how we practice like this. And then maybe you are not Christian, but you can understand. And there is a lot of education in Christian schools, and then out there, like this is a Christian school too, and then I got a PhD from Christian school, and then there is church education, and there's if you are a parent, if your parents are Christian, and then maybe they teach you something, and that is right, whether you are Christian or not, and then still parents teach you guys something like that. And a lot of different ways they can have education, but still it's really sometimes there is not clarified the philosophy, but still there is kind of It's under, but still it doesn't come out to the surface, but still influence the people's life. And another object is to learn foundational knowledge and different perspective of Christian education. So what's the foundation of knowledge? We could understand the education, what is education? We could understand what is the curriculum. So we could understand what is the philosophy like this. And then maybe for the Christian education, we gotta understand the basic kind of knowledges. We are not gonna study in depth, but still we need have a basic knowledge of that, and then we can use it. And then another object is to understand the basic principles and direction of education. Why? The philosophy gives you directions and practical, right? And belief. That's why it's really important. I don't know whether you guys have you heard about pragmatism. That's the American education. That's one of the philosophy. It's really that is the foundation of the American education. So not the theoretical. So if you go to European education, really theoretical. But if you see the American European education is a theoretical and it's a holistic, little bit more than, but American education is a really analytic and practical. It's a little bit different. So like this, and then maybe theories we can learn about basic principles and direction of the education, and then finally maybe if you are teaching music, and then maybe how can I teach music, and then you can make it your own kind of design of a lesson design, and then if it's beginner or intermediate level or advanced level, depends on the level. You gotta know how to teach them, right? And like this, and then maybe not sure, but maybe student may design a curriculum that they may lead in their ministry with their learning. So maybe you are not a Christian and you are not working in the Christian educational setting, and then it's not related. But let's see. Yeah, that is the basic idea about what we really wanna achieve in this class. Any questions? No? If you have, just let me know. Yeah. There is books, and then 1, 2, 3 is a required reading, and then I don't know whether you have time to read, and then just formally I post up that. And another one is kind of recommended reading, and then maybe whenever you learn and whenever you hear something, and then you could Google it and try to read in English, but it helps you to develop your English, and you can get some idea about what we learn. And then basically, even though there is 4 books, and mostly lectures based on the books. Okay, so based on the 4 books, and then you don't have to worry about buying stuff, and then I already gave you guys about the outline of the class notes, and then that's outline. It's not all about based on that one, little bit different but same, and then I'm gonna lead the class. Any questions? No? If you have any questions, just let me know. Here is the schedules, and we're gonna have 10 week classes, and then there's a topics, and then today is the first week, so introduction of philosophy of Christian education. So we're gonna talk about basic idea of Christian education. And so far, I gave you about the basic idea about how class is going and then operated in this classroom. So and then what we're gonna learn, what we try to achieve in this class through this. Any questions? No. Okay. Okay, let's talk about the classes. So there is a three part, and then philosophy of Christian education. It means that I want to break it down to three categories, and then what is the philosophy, and what is the Christians, what is the education. It makes sense? And philosophy of Christian education, and then we needed to know the philosophy, right? What is the philosophy? And we needed to know what is the Christians. And we needed to know what is the education. So basically, we need to understand these three terms. And then we're gonna see how they developed the theories, and then how they use their theories and educational theories and philosophical theories and sociological and psychological theories, and there's a lot of theories out there. Studied by scholars. And let's talk about, and we're gonna go over today. Today class is an introductory class, and then we're gonna talk about what is the philosophy, and we're gonna talk about Christians, and we're gonna talk about education. Three terms we're gonna talk about today. And what is the philosophy? I already asked you philosophy. Okay, can you Google it? What is a philosophy? Philosophy. How they define it? Anyone got the Wikipedia? Anyone got the dictionary definitions? What's philosophy? I studied philosophy in college, in Korea. So I'm a philosophy major. So I studied a lot of philosophy topics. It's not related to our life, but it's helping me develop the thinking skills, how you think, and a lot of questions about that. And then you are here, she's Korean or Chinese. Where are you come from? Why she's here? How many kids are you? What is her husband doing? And then now try to make the all pictures, and that's why she's here like this. Question, and then try to put together it logically. What is the definition? Philosophy. Can you read? No? Did you find it? So philosophy. Do you know the word philosophy? Anyone found it? Definition of philosophy? Fourth line. What is philosophy? What is that? What is that?
In Japanese?
No, in English.
In English? From Greek, by way of Latin, philosophia, love of wisdom. Yeah.
How about you? Rita? What's the dictionary definition?
methodical consideration of reality as a whole of fundamental
Yes.
dimensions of human existence and experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about yours?
My philosophy,
No, the definition that you find.
it's kind of same. In English, Japanese philosophy,
No, in English.
my philosophy.
Tell me about Japanese philosophy then.
I don't know, it depends. Yeah, every person is different.
So I know that the traditional philosophy, one of the examples is samuraism. Samurai?
No more.
No, I
Yeah.
know. That one is really powerful in history, right? And then influence people, right? That's one of the big philosophy in Japan. It's a long time ago. But nowadays maybe it's different, right?
Very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Japanese philosophy. Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Nihilism, so I heard a lot of young generations and then they lost the purpose of life and it's nothing and they cannot find any meaningfulness in life and they attempt suicide a lot. I heard, but I don't know whether it's true. Is it true?
Yeah, many people die by suicide. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally different generation from me. Yeah, everybody using too much SNS. Yeah, and yeah, I heard many young people die by SNS.
Yeah.
It's kind of rude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe I don't. So how old are you?
Now I'm 42.
42. Yeah, it's a totally different generation, and then you are different generation from her, and me, and then I have two daughters, and then they are 25 and 26, and they are totally different. So my daughter said that when they are 20s, and then they are in high school. You mean they are in high school? They said, "Oh, Daddy, what?" So do you know that they born in 2000? They are 1907 and 1908. Born in 1907 and 1908, 99. And they born in 2000s. They are totally different from us. They said, my daughter said, maybe it's a 2-year difference, but it's a big difference.
Yeah.
Because in my daughter studied with the textbook, physical textbook, but they born in 2000. They don't have a textbook.
Yeah.
Some school and they already have the iPad and everything's inside the iPad. They don't have physical textbook.
Yeah, like my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody uses textbook, just everything iPad.
So my daughters has 2 textbooks each subject. One is a school, one is a home. So they don't have textbooks heavy. They don't have to carry. Yeah, that is their lifestyle. They're totally different. And nowadays, and then they said we are too old.
No, they're too young.
Yeah, I know, but they said, we are too old. But already, their friends are married, and then but it's younger than them, and then there's one of them, church friends, and she's younger than my kids, but she's married next month, and babies and totally different life nowadays. Yeah. Still, that's the different philosophy we said it here, and then they kind of divide, understand, study of generations. It's a Gen Z. It's like 20, early 20s, and like after that, and then like 40s, like you, is millennials. Millennials is different from Gen X, me. It's like who born is like 1996, 1997, and 1996, and 2000, no, 1980, around there. So we called Gen ZX like this. They divide the age in what's a baby boomer. You heard about baby boomer, right? And people said that they are 60 nowadays, 60s and 80s, and like they are baby boomers. Yeah, it's a different, but because their philosophy is different, because they are influenced by society. But I don't know whether I raised by the modern, based on the modernism, so reasoning and logic. We started there, but and from the millennials, kind of it's a postmodernism. After modernism, we call it postmodernism. Pre-modernism, modernism is like they very religious, and they rely on the religions, and then but modernism started afterwards. Enlightenment in French and they use a lot of reasoning, and they try to develop the scientific study. They try to study and then, it's true or not, and they said, kind of follow the logic and understandable, it's okay, and repeat, and it coming, was a similar work, same outcomes coming out, and we accept as a truth. That's so heavily rely on the reasoning and the logic. Before pre-modernism, so we have a faith, like religion, right? We cannot prove a lot of things like scientific way, but still people believe that. Can we prove that God exists? It's hard. We cannot see it, but people believe it. God is there. Based on their reason. I'm a Christian based on the Bible, and maybe Buddhist based on their own the books. And what about Islam? So they have their own thing. I don't know though. Japanese, I heard that they have more than 8,000 scholars. It's true?
I don't know. I don't think so. Actually, include me. I think like maybe old person, like 70 up to 70 to 90 years old. Yeah, they believe Buddhism, but yeah, less than 7 years. Japanese no religion actually. Including my parents, my friends' parents. No, they don't believe any religion. Yeah, that's weird for me. Only we die. We do something like Buddhism thing. Yeah, for funeral.
Okay.
Yeah. Before that, nothing. Many Japanese people doesn't believe God, no Buddhism, anything, no religion.
Okay.
I heard it's kind of very special countries. The other country has some, religion. Yeah, but Japanese no.
Yeah.
They don't believe. Yeah,
Just-
they don't believe God.
Yeah, usually China and Korea and Japan is based on the Buddhism, right?
Yeah.
Still, even though Korea has a lot of Christian population, it's like 1/4, quarters.
Yeah, I have many Christian.
25%, but
Yeah.
still, in atheists, they are not Christian, they don't believe in God. Atheists we go there, and then more than 50%. And then like the rest of the 50% is a white majority. Buddhism is majority.
Yeah.
So more population than the Christians. Yeah, that's Korea. Yeah, that's
Actually,
Korea.
I heard so Korean people, so many Christian. in
But
Korea.
still, Buddhist is more than Korean.
Yeah, base.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I had Ben, and I asked Ben mate about religion. Yeah, they are Christian, but I heard they don't believe God. More, our parents' age, they believe God more. But younger, people get younger and younger. Yeah, younger people, doesn't believe God.
Yeah,
Yeah, they said they're from Europe. Yeah, Poland and Austria. They are Christian. But their name is actually Peter and Paul, so from Christian name. But even then, they don't believe God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what we call the cultural Christian.
yeah, it's kind of Yeah.
Culturally, they down as a Christianity is kind of down
Yeah.
to them from parents, but they don't believe it.
Yeah.
They're-
They are more like they think more, you know, the reality life.
Mm.
Yeah. So of course they don't. They have never seen God. Yeah. So they don't believe God. They believe just it is what it is. You know, just reality.
Yeah, that's a postmodern philosophy.
Yeah.
Postmodern philosophy, and then when you think about pre-modern, we try to understand. We have a belief, or God exists and belief, but modernism they try to kind of explain and try to find and try to demonstrate and prove. But that's a modernism. Postmodernism, no, we cannot trust our religion. Sometimes we made it wrong. That's true. We don't believe that. They progressives, and then they really heavily rely on their what they see, what they feel. That's why different generations.
Yeah. When people ask something God when they get trouble, so oh please God, so help me.
Yeah. That's people's nature, though.
Yeah.
Usually, when you are in really big trouble, and then so you are in really difficult situation, automatically they turn kind of someone who believe that they believe there's someone who controls the whole universe, and then who is powerful, more powerful, who can do everything. There, even though there's an absolute being is there, it's like a God. That is the one of philosophy that in Greek long time of people try to understand the whole university, how universe is going to operate like this, and how universe is created like this, and they try to understand and explain, and that's one of philosophy, right? So they see the whole reality of the world, and they try to see, but there's no scientific, and then they use a lot of thinking, and that's why they try to logically, because God exists, because think about the universe, how we have a procedure, how it's different. Think about people's bodies and think how we reproduce, right? Like this, and then they try to explain the reality and the absolute being, right? Who creates and controls the universe. That's why President James said that is the start of their philosophy. And question about the universe, question about our life, and then try what is the cause of this, right? What is the cause of this? But nowadays a lot of different ways they try to explain, but long time ago they don't have much like advanced technology like nowadays, right? That's why they're thinking a lot and developed their logic and theory. That's a philosophy. So, and then we have understood the kind of how universe is kind of running and created. It gives you a lot of wisdom, right? They say that that's why the word philosophy is the love of wisdom. Knowledge, not knowledge. So, and then you understand, and then you can apply to the real setting. That's wisdom, right? Knowledge is 1 plus 1 is 2. That is knowledge. Wisdom is that even though you don't have 1 plus 1 is 2, but just think about it. And 1 plus 1 is 2, even though you don't have, but you don't know the specific mathematical aspect, but still you can use the real life. And then, okay, when you are doing business and then think about it, and okay, I can buy 1, and how can I make 2? How can I make 2? So, and how can I make 1? Like it's kind of 1 plus 1 is 2, like this. And then just a little bit variation is there, and then you try to find your own way with the basic principle. Apply your life. That's wisdom, I said. So here is, and then the study of the fundamental nature of the knowledge and reality and existence, and especially when considered as an academic discipline. So people who have PhD and studied, and there's a basic philosophy definitions. And another one is currently at bottom is a rational, abstract, and methodical consideration of reality as a whole, what the fundamental dimension of human existence and experience. That's it's a really fundamental understanding of human's life and human's existence and experience. That's a philosophy. Then think about and then why people are studying about philosophy, and then we say we have kind of I already told you Japanese philosophies and Chinese philosophy and Korean philosophy, and then there's a philosophy, is a particular system of philosophy, philosophical thought, how people think about it, and based on their belief and thinking and how they behave. That's a philosophy, and someone's philosophy, right? And you already say my philosophy is have to have fun, and then that's your particular system of the philosophical thought, your basic foundation of life. And then how can you make your life fun in every aspect of your life? That is your philosophy. So there is three aspects of philosophies, and one is activities and so activities there, and what is the set of the attitudes, and then what about body of content. We can see that when you think about philosophy, and three aspects is what is activity, another one is attitude, and another one is content. And so even though philosophy is very abstract and try to explore the knowledge of the human existence and cosmos, and then what's reality, but still there is specific content is there, and why it is studying about what, and then how your attitude is there, and specific activities there. So what is activity in philosophy? Do you know synthesizing? Here is put together. Analyzing is a separate, right? Synthesizing, you're gonna speculating and why, and kind of you have assuming, and then they're speculating and prescribe because of that, and then you write and give something and analyze. That's the basic activities. And here it is. What is this? What is this? Cell phone. Okay. And what is for? Just think about what I see there. Okay, give me any idea about this one. Any idea? Cell phone. What is that?
Device
Device
to call someone.
to call someone.
Yeah.
And the case is here. Clear case, right? You can see this is Samsung or iPhone. You cannot see about.
Oh, my eyes are good. I can see.
This is camera is here. You can see, definitely know that, right? But you don't know the it's iPhone 14 or 13 or 15, right? Whatever. Just think about it. If you see the one, you say, oh, this cell phone and cold, and you can kind of analyze it. Why we using this one, right? That's a philosophy, basic activities. We think about functions and there's a holy, or it's a prescribing. And then we put all together about what is this? Because of this, all the things that this is we call the cell phone, there is a specific function, there is a kind of synthesizing. That is one of the activity philosophy. So when you think about this one and then just observe, and what is this?
Water.
Water. And what's this? Just water?
Sparkling water,
Sparkling water. What else?
juice.
Juice? No, sparkling water. Water is different from juice. So try to observe and analyze, right? Oh, water is sparkling water? Because how do you know? Is there clue is there? Any clue?
I cannot see.
That is a brand name. That is a sparkling water brand name. What's Pellegrino? Pellegrino. Saint Pellegrino is one of the sparkling. That's why they basic activity. We observe something and try to understand, right? Maybe based on your knowledge, based on your experience, right? And what about attitude? What about attitude? Just think about, and then, I don't know, what is that? What is a company? That's a self-knowledge, awareness. Do I know that? Do I don't know it? Right? Right? That's awareness, self-awareness. Oh, there's a sparkling water, but I don't know the brand name, I never heard, but see that. Or something is there that I don't know. There's self-awareness. Sometimes, oh, this is water. Well, think about what kind of water is there, and then how many water is there? What kind of, so sparkling water, regular water, distilled water, a lot of water, right? That is the kind of you can think about whole things and embrace it, water. There's a comprehensiveness, attitude. So maybe you can see that, oh, this is sparkling water, but you might wrong, you may right, because you don't know, right? You never seen. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. There's flexibility is there. There's the attitude when you start. There's a basic attitude we need when you talk about philosophy. Attitude and activity. Analyze, synthesize, and speculating and prescribe. What about content? Philosophy of content. Long time ago, there is a political philosophy and ethics, and then there's nowadays a lot of different philosophies, economic philosophies, but not the original one. And then content is there, what we study, philosophy, right? And then people study about the reality, and then we call the metaphysics. Physics meaning that it's a kind of a physical, you can touch, you can see. The metaphysical means that we cannot see, abstract. So metaphysics is about study of what? Nature of the reality. We cannot see or still study. That's the metaphysics. And then epistemology is the study of the nature of the truth and knowledge. You gotta see the what's the knowledge of a system of knowledge. That's epistemology. And that's one of the content. Another content is axiology, the study of a question about values. Yes, that is a basic aspect of philosophy. So you gotta know that three aspects, when you think about the philosophy, and there is three aspects there. When it's activities and attitude and then content. Can you see the diagram? And content is metaphysics and epistemology and axiology. It's a really, really foundational understanding of the content of philosophy, and from the long time ago. And what about attitude is the what is and your self-awareness and penetration and comprehensiveness and flexibility is a kind of attitude. Whether you study. How can you open yourself? How can you make you flexible? Because you don't know the reality, but still you open. That you see the comprehensiveness. And then what about activities? Activities and sometimes experiment, examining and analyzing and synthesizing and speculating and what? Prescribing and evaluating. That is a philosophical activities. So when you think about the philosophy, and that's remember philosophy and the clearly content is there, right? So think about when you talk about philosophy of Christian education and the what, there is a philosophy mean there's a what content is there, right? What we're gonna teach, and what's the attitude? What's the teacher's attitude? And then what about student attitude? Relate to the educators. And what about activity? What kind of method we can use to teach, right? That's the basic idea about philosophies. Any questions? No? But have you heard about this one? Philosophy? Did you understand what philosophy? No. All right, so we're going to take 10-minute break. It's okay, you guys?
Break.
How
long?
10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
10-minute break and come back, and maybe you can drink water and then come back, and then we can start at 11:10. It's all right? And then we can finish at 12 o'clock. No worry. So I'm not gonna go over 12. At least I'm gonna try to finish it exactly at before 12.
Before 12?
Before 12.
Before 12, yeah, that's way better. Yeah, I have to go.
Okay. Take a 10-minute break.
Okay.
So if you have any questions, just let me know. Don't study and get water and then go to bathroom and How many kids do you have? 2 kids?
Yeah, boy and girl.
Wow. How old are they?
14 and 10.
14 and 10. Wow. What is the teen?
Yeah.
Wow. He's boy or
It's a boy.
Boy.
Boy and girl.
Okay. 14 is boy.
Hmm.
He's doing well.
Hmm?
He's doing well.
Ah.
He's a teenager.
Yeah, teenager. It's way different. When I was young, it's more, I used to play outside. Yeah, but now many kids just video game, internet thing. Yeah, very different. Yeah.
So you communicate with your kids very well.
Oh, yeah, that's very well.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, many conversations.
Yeah, they are not rebellious. No.
No.
Yeah, wow, they are good kids.
Mm-hmm.
But when they are in teen, and then usually they wanna be alone and they wanna take their own way, right?
Really?
Usually teens are young.
Oh.
So parents say, let's go to market. So, no, we don't wanna go. Just go by yourself like that. And then when you go to trip, and no, I don't wanna go to with you. I don't wanna go to trip with you guys, and just go yourself like this. And I travel around a couple of times, and I consider like teens. They don't like the travel with the parents. I don't want it, but they are sitting on the street and they are happy with a lot of kids. Yeah.
Mm.
My friend, he had a vacation 2 weeks in America from Korea, and then he said, and he has a daughter who is teen, and then are you gonna bring your daughter and your son both? And he said no. My daughter said she's a teenager, and he said I can handle her, so I just bring my son.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not easy though.
Yeah. I think many teenagers, it's difficult to handle.
But maybe you spend a lot of time with your children.
Yeah.
That's why have good relationship.
Mhm.
That's a key though.
Yeah. I take him to fishing, and
Ah.
yeah, my studio, music studio room, and yeah, and play drums together. Yeah. It's also video game together too. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. That's why. Maybe he understands who you are, and then maybe
Mm.
I see. Good. And a lot of people are coming, especially like immigrant people, and then the parents can struggle with the children because
Mm.
nowadays a lot of people who came to America and they have already wealthy and they are rich and they bring a lot of money to here and
Yeah.
his education. But long time ago, and then they came here to find a better life here.
Mm.
So that's why they struggle a lot. And kids are abandoned and they work hard and no communication, cultural language, linguistic barriers and language barriers. It's hard, yeah. So you speak Japanese home or just English?
Only Japanese.
Ah, then they speak Japanese, right?
Yeah, actually they are not good at in English. They were born here, but English, yeah.
What about your wife?
She can, yeah, 99% of Japanese. Yeah. Yeah, she cannot speak English, but she can understand what
Okay.
people say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
At least, yeah. She has been here 17 years, same as me.
Okay.
Yeah, but still, yeah, she has never studied English.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. I see. Wow.
Yeah, actually, I have never studied English too.
Well, you could at least
just,
could
just
listen.
I have to speak and listen and for my bandmate.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. So I cannot understand difficult English like politics, technology, something different. So
Mhm.
I cannot understand what they are saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, just normal conversation.
Yeah. And I try to learn English, and then usually I spend a lot of time. So I don't associate with my ethnic community, Korean communities, and then usually, it's a really busy in American life, so you don't have time, and then so I try to communicate with my kids in English, and I told them whenever my kind of pronunciation is expression is awkward, and they just correct me, and then but still struggling.
Yeah,
English
pronunciation
is
is very
hard.
difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, English is hard, and then it's really different.
Yeah.
Hard. But I have two daughters, and then we have a really good relationship.
Yeah, that's good.
So, they born here and grew up here, and then I don't teach them Korean.
Mhm.
Because Korean is very limited, right? Just a small country, so I asked them to learn the Spanish.
Instead of Korean?
They don't study, they don't speak Korean.
Really? At all?
No, a little bit, but nowadays they pick up little by little from
Yeah.
their K-pops and Korean dramas.
Yeah, drama. Yeah, my wife.
Yeah.
My wife, she's Japanese, but yeah, she loves Korean drama and K-pop. Yeah.
And then, but
So she
still,
can understand some Korean.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Still they said, they know their levels, not the kindergarten levels. Yeah. But still, I told them to take Spanish when they're in high school.
Mhm.
So, Korean is it's a very small one country, so if you speak a lot of Spanish, and then you could cover Latin America.
Yeah, all over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I told them to learn Spanish, but it's not easy though.
Yeah, Japanese same. Japanese in only Japan.
Yeah. But Koreans and Japanese, it's very hard to learn English.
I think so.
Yeah, it's a Koreans also learn Japanese very easily because the same
Yes,
structure
yes, yeah.
and we have similar vocabularies and was the Chinese letters and it's easy. But if you when you learn English, it's really hard.
Totally different.
Yeah, so sound is different and it's hard. Okay, so we have a new student here. Can you introduce yourself briefly and your name and when you came to America and what are you doing here and yeah, like that. Introduce. Yeah. 이름하고.
My name is 진수 Kwang.
진수
Kwang.
광. Yeah. 광.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm married to. I have one son.
언제 미국에 오셨어요? When did you come here?
2006.
6, almost 15,
Yeah,
17 years.
Yeah.
Wow. He was 17 years and more than that, she's just 5 years. Wow. Right. Okay, let's a little bit study about philosophy a little bit more. And then, what is the functions of a philosophy? Functions. Here is some functions introduced by the James Gratito. And then he said philosophy analyzes the foundations and the suppositions underlying other disciplines. So think about sometimes when you have something and then just a question about it. Why do you think so? What is the basic evidence? What is the evidence? And then what about their assumptions? And there's analyzing. So philosophy is really helpful to understanding what is the kind of nature of the human beings and kind of nature of something, because they're always thinking about try to analyze. And then another function is that philosophy attempts to develop comprehensive conception or apprehension of the world. So sometimes we think about it, and this is water, it's sparkling water, and then what is the manufacturer, why they make, and then think about if you see this one and what is the difference from regular water, and then it's a very goes broad and comprehensive, right? That's why in philosophy kind of developed a comprehensive concept of the water, this one, and then of understanding. That is the philosophy functions. So maybe if you have something, it's very simple though. Maybe like this, and when you observe this one and start with the question, what is that, and why, and what is for, like this, and then how can they make, why is it different from others, like this, and then and gives you very comprehensive knowledges. And philosophy studies and studies and what critically evaluate our most deeply held belief and attitude. So some people just believe without any evaluation. So just I don't know whether you guys think about what's going on in America, and then we have a lot of news, and sometimes just accept as it is, and then it's like fake news, and then sometimes it's really was really partial and really kind of just a part of prejudice, and then it's really stereotyped, and there's a lot of information out there, and then philosophy, and then just studies, and then critically evaluates was it true based on what, and then once I made a big mistake though, and then I watch I have a Facebook account, and then someone kind of I don't know the language, and someone kind of posts up and then they kind of manipulate, and they put the different captions, and then kind of misguiding the people, and I kind of take the copy, they share it with others, and then my friend contacted me, Christian, you had wrong information about this one. You don't know their we don't know their language, and then I know their language, but it's not mean there. So I really apologize and take it down. So sometimes we don't know, and then it's easy to manipulate by someone, and it's hard to kind of evaluate. So that's why philosophy helps to kind of critically evaluate the situation and fact, even though we believe the fact of why it is true, right? That's your philosophies. And just think about it, and there is a lot of I don't know whether you guys have heard about culture, Japanese culture and Korean culture, and then Chinese culture, and it's different, right? Sometimes based on their belief, and political system is different, and China is different from Taiwan, Korea is different from South Korea is different from North Korea because of the political system, right? And they believe whether it's good or not, and based on their belief, and they adopt it, and then they try to practice it regardless of good or not, and still. There is different cultures out there, and different worldviews out there. Worldview means that how you see the world, right? Everybody has their own land, but still culture means that if you live in Korea, and if you live in Korea, and Korea has a Korean cultures, and really Chinese have a really Chinese culture, and there's a distinctive things that kind of we can distinguish. Depends on culture, and depends on the worldview, and then we understand the world differently. And I'm not going to talk about this a little bit deeper here, but still there. And then philosophy investigate the principles and rules of language. It's a study about how we say, and then what's the most important element in culture is the language. It helps your way of life, and shows your way of life, and then shows your thinking system. We already talked about how hard it's for Japanese and Korean to learn English, because of the thinking system is totally different. That's a philosophy. So we can see that how it's different, and then the diagram just shows that maybe I want to see that the worldview was atheist and then theist. And atheists believe that God is there, and many gods or one God is there, and atheists, they don't believe God. And then Gnostic is there, and then agnostic is there, and then it's possible to be 100% certain, maybe Gnostic. It's truth is there, but what is certain? But agnostic is not possible to be 100% certain. That's a different kind of worldview. And then you can see that if you are agnostic and theist, then maybe you believe that 100% God exists. But if you believe that something is 100% sure, but you don't believe God, and then what? They say agnostic atheists say 100% certain, but there is no God or gods. Maybe they believe that what I see is truth, what I don't see it's not true, like this. And then there is agnostic atheist, but agnostic atheists say that agnostic means that they don't believe God, right? No, they're not sure 100%, but maybe there is God there. This agnostic theist, and maybe, but they, sure, but God is there. And then what about agnostic atheist? Nothing is sure, and there is no God. It means that no room for God. That's the basic worldview that people see see the world. Basic understanding of our reality. Any questions? No. We already talked about the basic kind of understanding of philosophy. We talk about what's the aspect of philosophy. 3 aspects there, and content is there, attitudes there, and then activities there. And then activities are like we use our thoughts in analyzing and estimate, examining and prescribing and synthesizing like this. And that's activity, those are intellectual activities. And then what about the content? Content is also we study about the reality, metaphysics, and we study about knowledge and epistemology. We study about values, it's axiology. There is a content of what they study in philosophy. And then there was functionals there, and there is attitudes is there, self-awareness, and then getting comprehensive like this, and then flexibility, and then that's we learn about basic function of philosophy, and then we come over talk about Christians. What is a Christian? So this class is about philosophy of Christians education. So I'm trying to explain basic idea about philosophy, and then we move to Christian, and then we're gonna move to education. What is a Christian? We already talked about they grew up in European countries, but they don't. We talk about the culture of Christian, right? We talk about the culture of Christian. They grew up in Christian countries, but they're not Christian. They don't believe in God.
Yeah, that's one minute. I don't know others. Yeah.
There is a lot of people, and in America it's like 60s, and about more than 70% they claim that they are Christian. They go to church on Sunday, but nowadays less than half. But some people say they are Christian. They believe that they go to church once a year or twice a year, like this.
Just once a year?
Twice a year. But some people say that some people they don't believe in Jesus Christ. But they say call themselves a Christian. And there is Christian means that's a religious identity, right? And we call Buddhist who follows Buddha's lesson, right? What about Muslim? Muslim is who follows the teaching of Muhammad, right? That's Islam. And we call people, Islam is kind of like Christianity like that, and then who follows the Islam, Muhammad, like follow Jesus Christ and be Christian, follow the Muhammad's teaching, and that we call them Muslims, and then Buddhists, and there was we follow the Buddha's teaching, and we call them Buddhist, right? And Christian is one of the religious identity, and then people, there is a misconception of the Christians, and then Christianity means that about the Christians, how they explain, right? It's not related to people, basic doctrines and basic teachings, like, right? That's Christianity. Christians are people who believe and follow the doctrines and the values, and then, there is kind of a lot of categories there. We call the secular Christians, and then also the committed Christian, devoted Christian. What's a secular Christian? Secular Christian, and since like they come to church and the church come for the Sunday, and when they go leave the church, and they live like non-Christians. There's a secular Christian, and then sometimes there is nominal Christians. What's nominal Christian? We say that they come to church every functions, right? To come to church, event, is worship and Bible study, and they do everything. But sometimes they don't believe in Jesus Christ. We call them nominal Christian. They don't know what they believe and why they come. But it seems like they, I believe Jesus Christ, but not really. Then we call them nominal Christian. Because of a parent, because of the community, because of the, if you don't follow, if you don't belong to the community, and then you will go to church in certain cultures. If you want to have a good relationship, and you have to go to church because of your parents, right? But there is a nominal Christians, and a lot of people, even though they come to church, and we call the Christian because they come to church on Sunday, but they don't believe in Jesus Christ. They believe wrong. They have a wrong belief system and ethics. They don't follow the biblical values based on the Bible. But still they call the Christian. But what I said is a Christian mean that let's look into what is the original meaning of Christian. Do you know original meaning of Christian? And around at the time, the Roman empires ruled over the area. When Jesus Christ died, and people started to believe Jesus Christ and following Jesus Christ, and there is a big persecution by Judaism, who didn't acknowledge Jesus Christ as Messiah and Savior, and then they persecute the people and put him to the jail and hurt them, and then so people are very scared, and dispersed around the area. And then there is people in nowadays it's Syria, around there is still Rome's regime, and then but still Christians there. They don't heard about the Christ before, because think about they are really used to still Greek is really powerful. Hellenism and Greece are really powerful, and still give them a lot of influence of people. And then still Rome is a ruling at the time, a current ruling regime, and then still power there, and a lot of gods there, Roman gods there. And then, but they never heard about the Christian Jesus Christ. And people just at that time, people say, "Oh, Christ," right? They believe in Christ, and then they believe in Christ, and then they call them Christian. And so at the time, the label, the Christian, is not that good. they are not in the main society because people kind of look down on, they just follow weird God and they kind of mistreated at the time. That is the Christians because of their faith. But nowadays it's a little bit twisted. And when you say the Christian mean that who really, really confess, acknowledge that Jesus Christ the Lord, He's God, and who died, who is the Messiah, who is the Savior. And that is the Christian. A lot of people, they don't believe it. And people say that, Christians say that usually, there's God is there. God is really righteous, really love, and then righteous and justice. God's there. And then people, but that's why when God is a created human being, and then God can have a good relationship with the human beings because He's a love, and but human beings kind of live in His justice, His word, and then that is the kind of relationship. But once we believe that, and the people kind of break the relationship, break the covenant with the God, and then people are always, the relationship is broken. So we cannot communicate with the God anymore, and then we still take our own way. We call it sin. It's always separate from God and then live our own way. That's a sin. The basis, not just a moral sin. So there is no relationship with God, and that's a sin. And then there's a we say fall, and people kind of the Adam and Eve, they kind of break the covenant with God, and then God said, okay, there's a kind of covenant between you and me, and then here is a tree, and then in the middle of the garden, and then don't eat the fruit of the tree, and then you shall die. And then, but the Adam and Eve got deceived by the serpent, and then they ate this fruit of the tree in the garden, and then what? That time is kind of relationship broken with God because of the instant. And then God wants to kind of recover the relationship with the human being, reconcile with the human being, and then He planned, and then what? A long time ago in Judaism, when they sin before God, and they bring the animal and kill. There is a priest and kill the animal and give them God. This I'm sorry because I made a mistake, my sin, and that they confess sin, and they give them offering animals, and they burn, and then God accepted, and sin is forgiven. And whenever they sin and have to do it, they do it. And sometimes they are really thankful, and they have some festivals, and then they bring the animals, and they eat and celebrate. But still, another thing is that when they sin, sin means that they are doing something that God doesn't like, and they kind of break the basic covenant, God's rules, right? And then after that, what? God really wants to recover the relationship with the human being, and He sent Jesus, His only Son, Jesus Christ, to to reconcile the relationship, reconcile with the human being. That's the only way that He can do is that people, in Old Testament period, and every time when they made a mistake, and then they put in the animals and the bird, and then that's it. And then their sins forgiven. And God didn't want to do it over and over, and then He God wants to make it just once for all, and He doesn't have to do anymore. And someone who break the kind of God's rules and commit sins, and then they don't have to do over and over like the Old Testament period. And then Jesus Christ be what sacrifice like that. And Jesus Christ not like a burned, but He died on the cross, and then for the human beings' sin, and then resurrected and reconciled human being with God. And Jesus Christ and ascended to heaven, and He promised to come back. And that is the basic idea about Christians. If you believe in these basic doctrines, and we can call them Christians. Whether they make a big mistake, and a lot of mistakes or not, and if we don't believe this doctrine, and then we cannot say they're Christians. It means that okay, I'm confess that I'm a sinner, and I'm a sinner, and I thought only through Jesus Christ my sin is forgiven. I can reconcile with God, and that's the way that only through Jesus Christ, and then only the relationship is recovered with God, and we call the Christians. We call they are born again. That's the Christians. It's not just going to church on Sunday. It's not Christian, true Christians. But if you really believe the Bible and what Jesus Christ has done for human beings, and then we call the follower of Jesus Christ, and we call it as Christians. So they are not nominal Christians, they are not cultural Christians. So Christian means that's why they believe the basic doctrine of the Bible, and then and when they see the word, and when they have their belief and values, and their behavior, everything is based on what they believe, right? That is the basic idea of the Christian's life. And then here is, and people say that, okay, a lot of people study about God and study about through the Bible, and we call it theology. So already a lot of theology about study about God, and study about Jesus Christ, and study about the Holy Spirit and Trinity, and there's a lot of topics out there related to the Christianity, and there's a theology. And then theology helps us to understand of the Christianity and Christians' belief and doctrines. And then based on the Holy Book, the Bible, and 66 books in the Bible, we call it Old Testament, 39 books, and then 27 and New Testament. That total we put together in the Bible, Holy Book for the Christians. So that is a basic idea of the Christians. And then if you are Christians, and then our worldview is based on the Bible and based on the Christian doctrines, and then our life, our values, and our behavior based on the Bible. That's a Christian. So someone say I'm Christian, and then I think it's like that, and Jesus Christ, the human being, and he's Jesus Christ, the human being, and he's a sinner, and then I cannot call the Christian. Wrong belief. We believe that Jesus Christ, he's a human being, 100% human being, and we believe that he's God. God is not like a Greek God. Greek God is kind of what? It's kind of messed up though. When you read the myths of in Greeks, right? Mythology in Greek, and there is it's different from Greek gods, and then God is what? Who cares about human being and who willing to die. It's not fighting with the human beings. It's really different though. So there's a Christian who believe God, Jesus Christ, and follows Jesus Christ's teaching and way of life that Jesus Christ showed. That's a Christian, right? Any question about that one? Being a Christian? Oh, what is education then? Education. Okay, parents. What is education? Okay, James, did you marry? No, you are still single. You don't have kids, okay? What is education? Parents. How do you define education? Yeah, well, I already put some definition. What is education? Teaching, training, something, right? That's education, part of education. So if you get a new job and you gotta learn something, right? Skills that required the jobs from the job, and then that's education. So education is done by schools, like from elementary and junior high school, and college, but education can be done by organizations and companies, and education done by parents, their kids, right? And there's a lot of different ways that we can practice education though. But formal education usually done by schools, right? Formal education, maybe job education is done by organizations. Like if you want specific skills in the position that requires, and then you gotta learn it. Maybe if you are waiter and waitress, and then you gotta learn how to kind of run the tables, and how can you get the orders, and how can you deliver. So what is all things you gotta get. You need to train, right? So here is, and then education is the act or process of imparting or acquiring general knowledge, developing the power of the reasoning and judgment, and generally preparing oneself or others intellectually for the mature life. Intellectually. Mean that just think about public education, and then we try to help the children to learn little by little and for their life. And then later on help them to get a job, and later let them get a higher education, and then they can get a job that relate to what they study, because there's a specific knowledge is there, right? Eventually, we can use the philosophical way then. How can we help them to help them students to use their reasonings, their judgments, right? and then they can acquiring knowledge about something. Not just the science knowledge, not just the mathematical knowledge and some other knowledge, but the knowledge, the process through the learning the knowledge and what they can develop their reasoning skills and logical thinkings and a lot of skills, even though it's not specifically identified during from the class. That is first one is the basic definition of the dictionary.com, and another one is education is a little bit formalities. By formality is what discipline that is connected with the methods and teaching and learning in schools or school-like environment, as opposed to various non-formal and informal means of socialization. That is a little bit focused on the formal education definition. This definition is really formal educations, right? Concerning with the method way of what teaching and learning in schools or school-like environment. Just think about, and we already talked about schooling, and then it's not education is schooling is education is not just for the high school, not just for the college, just throughout people's life. I already told you there's a specific training is there, and then there's a certain period where the basic education is there, like a schooling through the school, but sometimes if you go into after school and go into society, and then you gotta learn something. It's a lifetime, but it's a different approach, a different method. That is education, though. So maybe depends on your worldview. Sometimes you acknowledge, you believe in the you follow the Christian belief, and then that's a Christian education. If you believe the Muhammad's teaching, and that's Islam's education. If you believe the Buddha's teaching, and that's Buddhism education, like that. So based on your word, how you understand the reality, and you could teach. But if you don't acknowledge that there is no God and there's nothing is sure, and based on that one, we only rely on the scientific studies, and that's true. That people believe in, but we gotta know that scientific studies are always changing. Even though there's a try to monitor the study with validity and the reliability, but there is always a mistake. It's not for sure. When they see that the kind of study, they have the right procedures of validity, and then if they follow the procedure, and then we're gonna get the same outcomes. That's they are kind of see the studies, and then, but think about big scientific stream is kind of changing. Once it was all about, but 10 years later, we found a new thing, and we found a new thing. There's a change. It means that sometimes maybe agnostic, we cannot sure 100% anything. Even though we said scientific and empirical. Empirical means that we study and scientific way, and we prove it. So maybe I don't know how many years you guys have the education still. I know it's 30s, 40s, and 50s are still I know region is different, but still studying. Yeah, I've been a really long, I've been studying really long times, and then I came over here, and then I was really interested in counseling. I studied college here again. So I go to college and spend 2 years, and I finished psychology, and then how changing is there. At the time I was already 30. When I came here and I was 30, and then spend 1-2 years preparing for college and think about here and there and doing something, and then I decided to go back to college, and then I studied psychology 2 years for no vacation and take a lot of classes, and that's why I took 2 years. So it's very crazy. And after that, and suddenly I was applying for the graduate schools and I got accepted, but I want to go to better school that I really want to go, and I was kind of here and there, and then kind of changed over my direction of life, and I stopped studying, but just think about what I'm gonna do, and then I thought about and I gotta go to school back and then go back to school, and then I gotta study for this over next step over my life, and then I studied. But I wanna be really creative something, and